Okay, you've opened up your HyperTiles and now you want to learn what you can do with them. Well, you can obviously connect them to each other with the connectors. There's lots of ways of doing that. There's this way, which is called flush, because these two edges here line up flush with each other. You can also do a little staggered. That's called staggered. Or even more staggered. Or very, very staggered, like that. Some of the shapes we're going to learn to build have the connections staggered. One of them is this little building block here. See how they're all connected in a staggered way? And you could use something like that to build something like this. Yeah, that's all kinds of crazy staggered there. But we're going to start off just focusing on what we call the flush connection, where the edges are lined up. Turns out there's two ways of doing that. There's this way, which we're going to call spiral, and maybe you can see why. If we connected enough of these together, all in that same way, it gives you a spiral. Okay, looks like a screw or like a DNA molecule. See how it moves like that? So that's a spiral connection. And one way you can check to see if you've made a spiral connection once you've done that, is that a spiral, is to try folding it, hinge it. And if it hinges like this, completely back on itself, so the two tiles are completely touching like that, you made a good spiral connection, okay? The other way to connect them flush involves just taking one of the two tiles and rotating it a little bit, just a quarter of the way around, and putting it back together. That looks kind of different. It's not a continuous line, it kind of goes up and down like a zigzag. We call this a zigzag connection. If I took enough of them like that and connected them, you get some shape like this. You see that doesn't quite spiral, it does some funky stuff there, but that's a zigzag, because this line here is sometimes described as a zigzag line. Okay? Some of the shapes we're going to learn to build are based on the zigzag. In fact, here's one of them. If I just take this and start wrapping it up, look what it gives me. It gives me a star. Okay? So a star is based on zigzag connections. Other ones, like this, that's all based on spiral connections, okay? And we'll learn to build these too.